Bully Scholarship Edition is one of the most underrated games of all time. The idea of a game set in a boarding school doesn't exactly sound fun, but Rockstar managed to make a masterpiece with Bully. The original version of Bully that was released in 2006 sold 1.5 million copies, and the game continues to be sold on places like the Xbox and PlayStation Store. The fact that people are still talking about a sequel to Bully even 15 years after its original release shows how loved this game is. In today's video I'm going to talk about what made Bully so good. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content.
Ah, yes. So, you must be Hopkins.
One of the best things about Bully is its story. After being a nightmare student and being expelled from 7 different schools, Jimmy is dropped off at Bulworth Academy, which is said to be one of the toughest schools in the country. This is where your epic journey of taking over the school and meeting amazing characters begins. One of the reasons Bully is so good is that everyone can relate to the story. Not everyone has been expelled and went to a boarding school, but most of us have been to a school, therefore we can relate to parts of the story. Stories in games become much stronger when players can relate to it. I really liked the fact it was set in a boarding school and actually had boys and girls dorms, as it reminded me of the times I was in school and I'd go on school trips and we'd have separate boys and girls dorms to sleep in. It also reminded me of Harry Potter, with the stopping overnight at school and meeting interesting classmates and teachers along the way. There are so many things included in Bully that I can either relate to or that remind me of something, which is one of the reasons why the game is so good. I think everyone will be able to relate to some part of the game, as most of us have all been to school. That's what makes it such a strong story. It makes me feel like I have a connection with the game. Alongside the fun and entertaining main story, we also got a ton of side missions and activities to keep us entertained for a load of hours. I really enjoyed the classes as there were so many and so much variety in them, and once again I could relate to it like when I was in school. There were classes you were bad at and didn't like, and classes you were good at and enjoyed. I remember when I was a kid, I hated the shop classes as I could never get the buttons right, and I don't think anyone finished English without using Google. Or is that just me? As well as the classes and having a detailed school to explore, you also have Bulworth Town to look around that contains shops, barbers and much more, and you unlock more locations as you progress through the game. Side activities include bike and go-kart races, carnival games, jobs to get you money such as paper routes and mowing lawns, and there is also a variety of errand missions to do for people around the school and town. This is another reason the game was so good. Bully gave players a ridiculous amount of fun content, which is exactly what players want from a game. There are so many games that don't deliver what fans want, and that's why Bully stands out and why it's an epic game.
Why is my underwear all squishy?
Rockstar is known for its extreme attention to detail and its various Easter eggs. They include such small details in their games that make such an impact and improve the game that little bit more. For example, being able to have a food fight in the canteen or a snowball fight at Christmas doesn't really need to be included in the game, but it adds a level of detail that not all games have. Bully is so detailed, I can either use a urinal and turn the taps on in the sink. Jimmy can use the boys' bathroom, but if you step into the girls' bathroom it will give you a trespassing violation. Breaking into lockers, stuffing classmates into trash bins, or kicking the football at a prefect are just a few things that are available to do in the game. The level of detail that has been put into Bully is truly unbelievable. You can spend hours playing and you'll still find something you didn't know you could do or unlock something you've never had. Bully Scholarship Edition has a unique and interesting story that keeps players hooked from the very start and makes us want to see how the game and the story unfolds. Bully was such a good game because it gave us a great protagonist to play as with a brilliant background story which made us care about Jimmy. Caring about characters is important because we then care about the outcome of the story, and being able to relate to the game allows us to put ourselves in Jimmy's shoes, which makes the story more meaningful. Having a detailed map, filled with fun and exciting content, makes it so enjoyable to explore Bulworth School and town, and none of it felt like filler. Bully is underrated and overlooked as one of the all-time greats, and lives in the shadows of Rockstar's other great games. To me, Bully Scholarship Edition will remain one of the most entertaining, unique and enjoyable games I've ever played.